building an indie business in the center of venture capital. I am Alex Edmonds, and this is the Building an Indie Business podcast. Alright, today I'm going to be talking about the open podcast blog that I just set up recently. I'm going to be talking about how the blog was built, why I started the blog, what's on the blog currently, and what the blog will continue to be, and what I hope for the future of the blog. Okay, so let's get into it. How I built the blog. The content management system, or CMS, that I used is ghost.org. I used DigitalOcean to host the blog with their one-click marketplace. I did a $5 droplet. I used a free template called Massively to set up like the CSS and HTML of the blog. And then I followed a really great tutorial by an open podcast member, Steph Smith, who wrote an article walking readers through how to set up a blog on DigitalOcean with Ghost. Her blog is stephsmith.io. If I remember, I'll link to it in the show notes. Okay, so I had no problem setting it up. Everything is perfect about the blog so far. I love it. So why I started the blog. So I do podcasting to have people find open podcast, and everything I do is about open podcast content wise. So blogging, or having a blog, is another medium for people to find open podcast. So I have the audio content right now, and with the blog I have written content. And so I can post blog posts in different places, even the same places that I post my podcast episodes, and they'll do differently because different communities will respond differently to different types of content. So like on Hacker News, they don't really respond well to audio content. So if I summarize one of my podcasting episodes and I write that up for the blog, and then I post that on Hacker News, that has a better chance of getting more people to see it and then join open podcast. Okay. Another reason why I started the blog is the more content I create, the more people will find open podcasts and more people will join open podcast. So the first article I have written for the blog is how to interview a podcast guest. And that did really well pretty much everywhere I posted it. And so another reason I started the blog is because so for audio content, it's really hard for it to get support, like shares on social media, because it's a link to another place. So people have to exit out to listen to my podcast episode, and then they might not come back to social media and then share the episode. But with a blog, you can have like a function that allows people to share certain sections of the blog posts and share it on social media, which makes it easier to go viral on other platforms. Okay, so currently, like I said, I have one blog post that I wrote, how to interview a podcast guest, which is a summary of the podcast episode that I did. It might have a little more details because the way I do promotion for the podcast is I'll do the podcast episode, then I'll do a tweet storm, and I might add more things to the tweet storm that I didn't really think about when I was doing the episode, and then I'll write up the tweet storm and the podcast episode by listening to the podcast episode while I type, and that might give me more ideas. So each time I have like a new form of content for the episode, I get more ideas. So I have one article right now, and I will be posting monthly right now. So like every first Friday of the month, I think so far. I don't have a problem with producing content. I have a problem figuring out how to promote that content. And so once I figure out how to promote the blog post, where to post it, what time to post it, how to, like, what should I post in the body of my promotion to get more people to see it. Once I figure that out, I'll start posting more and get more traffic. Okay. So how did I promote the interview article? I added it. I posted it on Twitter. I on the Open Podcast Twitter account, and then I retweeted it from my account. And doing that, it got a lot of views, actually. Even someone like a messy.f .fm, I think they're a podcast host. They created a graphic promoting the article with like the main points, and so that was good. The only thing that I wish that they did was they linked back to the Twitter account. What I wish that they did was link back to the actual article, and so there's that. So besides that, I posted it on Indie Hackers. So Indie Hackers has groups, and I specifically posted it in the podcasters section. And so that didn't do really well. It only got 16 views last time I checked. Okay. Another promotion that I did was I posted it on Reddit in the r/podcasting section, and that did really well. That is most of where the views for the article came in. It was at the top of the subreddit for the day. I got like 250 views, so that was great. And I got some people to join the newsletter, which is great. I posted it on Hacker News, and it didn't do too well. I don't even think I got any people looking at the article. I posted it in the Open Podcast newsletter at the top. I don't think I released that newsletter yet, so I'm not sure how it did, but we'll see. Hopefully it does stuff. What I do with the newsletter is I post that on Reddit too in the podcasting section, and every time I post that the newsletter, it gets a subscriber, so that's great. I posted it on Barnacles. Barnacles, the results don't show up immediately. So when I post my episodes on Barnacles, it's like my article will stay at the top for a couple days, and then it'll gradually go down over like a month. So, and through the month I'm getting clicks. So you can't really tell right away if something is popular, mostly because on Barnacles you don't get a lot of interaction or people posting. So that's why even for a couple of days, what you post will stay at the top. And it'll be on the front page for about a month, so you'll be getting clicks for a month. Yeah, that's all I did for promotion. I need to figure out how I can post it to other specific podcasting websites or forums or groups. I need to find other places where they'll allow me to guest post. Okay. Finally, what I hope for the blog for the future. I hope my goal, not what I hope. My goal is to have other members of Open Podcast writing blog posts about podcasting or their experience podcasting, and that way I can help members of Open Podcasts grow their following by guest posting on the blog. Okay, that's all I have for this episode. If you would like to guest post on the Open Podcast blog, reach out to me. Join the Telegram chat. Same with the Open Podcast podcast, the Open Podcast Community Podcast. If you would like to host an episode, let me know, and we can arrange that. All you need to do is do the audio yourself, record, do a solo episode, be interviewed, interview someone, do a roundtable with your friends. Send me that audio, send me what you want in the show notes, and I will add it to the Open Podcast Community Podcast. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Bye.